Hey there, friends, and welcome back to another 3-Minute Thoughts. My name is Derek, and in the next 3 minutes, we're going to take a look at Numbers chapters 31 and 32. If you're new to the 3-Minute Thoughts podcast, this is a time when in about 3 minutes, we summarize a chapter 2 or maybe even 3 found in the Bible. This year, we're going through the Bible chronologically, and we're in the book of Numbers. So let's take a look at Numbers chapters 31 and 32. In chapter 31, God commands Moses to take vengeance on the Midianites. Those are the ones who led Israel into idolatry and immorality back in chapter 25. So a force of about 12,000 Israelite warriors, 1,000 from each tribe, they go into battle and they completely destroy this whole nation of Midian. They kill every Midianite man, including 5 kings, the prophet Balaam, and the one who played a role in corrupting Israel. But when the soldiers return, Moses is not happy. He's actually pretty furious. You see, they had spared the women and children, and now some of us are sitting here going, of course they did. But the rule was that they were supposed to leave no one behind, right? Many of these women were the very ones who had seduced Israel into sin. Moses' orders were the execution of all non-virgin women and male children. This ensures that Midian would no longer be a threat. The Israelites then divide the plunder, livestock, gold, and valuables, giving a portion to the priests and Levites as an offering to God. Now, some of us have a hard time with this piece, and this is the way God functioned in the Old Testament, predominantly because these nations were so violent against Israel that the way he would protect Israel was to completely wipe out an entire population group. A genocidal approach is not one that we recommend in our day and age today, but in the time in which God was leading his people throughout the Old Testament, these nations were so corrupt and there was really no help for them. And so he rescued only a handful of them out. Chapter 32, another kind of challenge comes up where Reuben and Gad ask to graze their flocks on a different area, not inside Canaan. Moses is outraged by this idea. He thinks they're trying to avoid fighting for the promised land. But in the end, Reuben, Gad, and half of Manasseh settle on the east side of Jordan, reminding us that even though they choose a different location, they still had to be faithful to God's mission. These chapters remind us that sin has real consequences. Midian's downfall was rooted in the corruption that they brought into Israel and their defiance against God. We're going to summarize this by saying God wants us to be obedient to him and follow in the blessings he gives us. Be well, friends.